he looks at me.
Like,
He looked at me and says, "Boy, you wondering?"
Boom.
I said, "What?
Right.
What?"
And then you go to the text.
And he said, "I need you to go.
Yeah.
Read about children of Israel." I said, "Bro, I'm not one of them."
That's not me. That ain't me. I already know that story. That is not me.
He said, "Bro, I'm not one of them. I don't need to go read that."
Right.
I said, "I'll prepare whatever message you want me to teach." But listen. You gotta understand this. This is what as God is my witness.
Mm-hmm.
Mark, Sean, and Avery were in a room. I was studying on relationships.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And God was like, "Brian, I need you to go study this for you." I was like, "For me?" This, like, so I'm saying, like, it did not start from a place where I was thinking of preparing a message.
Mm-hmm.
I was in my own personal study time.
Mm-hmm.
I was preparing messages for the church around relationships.
Mm-hmm.
In my own personal study time, God was like, "Go read about children of Israel." I was like, "Why the heck would I read that?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is there somebody you want me to preach this to? Because this can't be for me." He was like, "No, boss, this is for you. Matter of fact, you are so lost. You need to read the whole story." I said, "God, you know how long that is?"
Sheesh.
I said, "God, that's a long story.
Yeah.
Like, that's long, boss. Like, is there a specific portion you would like?"
50, that's what, 50 some verses. What?
And then he reminded me of our principle of abiding.
Yeah.
He said, "I need you to read.
Quantity.
I need you to read until it changes your mind."
Boom.
I am just reading.
Man, that's so good.
Reading a story I have
That's a
been
nugget.
told and heard. I'm reading and reading and reading and reading, reading and reading, and I'm like, what? Whoa!
Wait a
That's
minute.
new. I never saw that before. That's wild. Whoa! And I'm sitting there. I'm like, oh snap! They wasn't lost. They knew exactly where they were. And I'm like, man, I kind of know exactly where I am. Let me read a little more. Man, God was providing the whole time. They even had, the miracle at the miracle. And it wasn't lacking. I was like, dang, he's checking boxes. I'm like, but Webster say wondering is this. He said, I don't care what Webster say. Right? Like
I'm showing you.
I'm showing you. You're them. I was like, man, I'm not a rebellious guy. Like, this is a rebellious generation. You lead and I go. You know what I'm saying? Like, right? I'm your boy. You know? And I'm like, holy crud.
Wait a minute.
He was like, no, Brian. Let me help you define wondering. I was like, what's wondering, God? He said, existing outside of what I promised.
Boom.
And I said, he said, Brian, I have said some things. I said, no. I said, but we got a strategy to get there. I said, I got the strategy. He said, man, I didn't ask for no strategy. That ain't the story I'm telling. It's the story I'm telling. It was faith. All I'm asking you to do is to handle the weight differently. This ain't a journey you're supposed to fight alone. Like, that's been the problem. You have tried to, and I'm like,
would that have been an instruction to Moses too? Like, handle the weight differently?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because Moses was ready to step in. But it wasn't about Moses stepping in. It's about them stepping in.
Yeah.
They weren't ready. It was about, the whole reason for Moses was he was supposed to build a community that was prepared to step in.
Right.
Like, it wasn't, God wasn't just trying to do something miraculous for him. He wasn't just trying to bring him to the promised land. He was trying to bring a whole community to the promised land. Unfortunately, on the journey, the community wasn't ready to all step in. And God says, Brian, everything we do as a people is so that a community can move forward. Brian, it ain't about you. It ain't about that person. It ain't about that person. It's about y'all coming together as a community and watching me move together.
Yeah.
watching me. And I said, okay, I got to handle the weight differently. You know, of course, for me personally, that means like, man, sometimes, you know, I give people strategy because they want more clarity and they want more whatever. But the problem is there's a borderline between clarity, strategy, and you never had to make a faith move. Like I made it, I articulated it so clear. So it's so many steps. I said so many processes. It was so you had me explain it to the point you didn't need any faith to do it.
Yeah.
Brian, even if this is what God said, Brian, even if you have the steps, to share all the steps sometimes is wrong. If you are sharing to the point the person you're talking to no longer has to apply faith, you said too much. Because they don't know that even though you're explaining this with such great clarity, that you are walking in faith.
Right.
And so you're walking in faith, Brian, but you never brought them into the journey of faith. And, you know, like I say, that's my story. Everybody got to hear from the Holy Spirit about their story. And so I was like, you know what, God, you're right. I'm strategizing to the point to where it doesn't even take faith to follow me.
Right.
Which can seem great until you realize, no, God wants to grow a community of faith.
Boom. Until you realize that that's the point.
And yeah, we can celebrate all the stuff.
Yeah.
But you never got better. And man, I was like, God, and here's the thing. It's not because we haven't been doing incredible things. People around the table, man, it's been great. I've been growing. I was like, you ain't seen nothing yet.
Yeah.
Wait till you see this next chapter. It's going to take you to a place. And God already told us, man, we are going to grow this year. It's going to take you to the place to where you are going to see God move in the most undeniable ways in your life. It's going to be a lot shorter sentences. You know, a lot shorter conversations.
It's going to be a lot shorter sentences.
God already said, connect and confirm, don't convince.
Right.
Like, it's going to be a lot shorter around here, boss. Are you going to step into it or not? You know? But at the end of the day, the standard is raising. And man, it's humbling. It's awesome. And I know I'm surmising a journey, but it's beautiful. I really hope more than anything people can get out of what I'm saying is that that's what I signed up for, and I love it.
Right.
I love that whole process. I love opening up the Word of God and reading it to the point that it starts talking back to me. You know, and I'm like, wow, this is incredible. I wish that for everybody, you know, and I know everybody's going to get there to where it's like, oh man, it's just so beautiful, the relationship we share. And I'm so excited about just stepping into some things.
I'm going to say that that's what we all enjoy that too.
Yeah.
We all appreciate those moments where we hear God speak and God shows us something beyond where we are. Those are the moments all of us desire. And that's the thing that we have to anchor down is like, that's the point. Like even the story, the written story with Israel, the thing that they realized was, man, it ain't about this.
I gotta say this. I heard God tell me this. Like, we talked about a lot of times it's hard for us to break free because we're willing to revisit some things. And but I heard God saying, like, just telling people, like, he needs you to go back to the last thing you thought he mismanaged. Go back to the last thing you thought he mismanaged, to where you prayed for something, it didn't happen, and you thought he didn't come through. Go back. Go back. There's something in it. Go back to the last thing you thought he mismanaged. You know, I can't tell you how many times I have to go back to moments where I was, and I hope you understand, like, I want to be transparent with my journey of faith so it can help people better understand theirs. I want to normalize some things that we've been trying to
That's
act
good.
as though it's strange. There's nothing strange about that. It's called the journey. It's a life of faith. You're growing. Man, you know how many times I'm like, man, God, I feel like you mismanaged that. Like, I don't know what you someone right about that one. And he'd be like, Brian, what you talking about? I ain't never mismanaged a day in your life. Go back, revisit it. And when I go back, my God, like I'd be like, holy moly.
I see.
You, man, when I be going back and revisiting things, I see how God manipulated me into doing things that was right that I thought was wrong in the moment.
Right.
Like you forced me into a right decision. God dog it. You know, like I'll go back and be like, holy moly. I was in the moment. I went through it frustrated, went back and revisited, and I realized my frustration made me make a choice that was really the right decision that I thought was the wrong decision at the time. Like I've seen God move over my emotions to have me do something that if I would have been in sober mind, I wouldn't have done.
Right.
I hope people get what I'm saying. Like, if I wouldn't have been, I told my mom this. I had a decision I had to make. I made the decision. She called me the next day. She said, "How do you feel?" I said, "Man, I wish I wouldn't have made the decision tired. I feel like I was tired when I was asked to make the decision. And I feel like because I was tired, I didn't really get a chance to fully go through it the way I would have normally gone through it. Because had I had the time to go through it the way I normally gone through it, now that I'm reflecting over it, I would have made a different decision." A week later, God takes me back and I go back, dang, because I was tired, I didn't do what I normally did. And what I would have normally did would have been the wrong decision. But because I was tired, I did that thing. And it turns out a week later, that thing
What's the right thing?
was the right thing.
Right.
You let that happen. You let that happen in your life. Boy, you get to a level of trust and faith in God that you've never experienced. I don't even, it's crazy. I told Pastor, where's Pastor Gamage? Pastor Gamage. And I'm just saying things to so people can get some stuff right. Yesterday I woke up Monday. Was that Monday? Right. So Monday I woke up 5:00 a.m. I helped my mama move. I did so many things. I left this building at 2 a.m. last night. When I left this building at 2 a.m. I got home, went to sleep, woke up. Mind you, I'm like fully on fire, energized, fully asleep. Got home. I pull into the parking lot. Pastor Gamer says, "Hey, you want me to go get you something to eat?" When I saw the text message, I realized I didn't even eat yesterday. And God just looks at me and says, "Man, I got nourishment you know nothing about." I said, "You better do your thing, G.O.D."
Right.
I was like, bro, I didn't even eat yesterday. Like.
You didn't realize till today that yesterday.
I didn't realize until the next day that I hadn't even ate. Then I looked at him, was like, "Man, my brother, I know my man can hear from God." Because I don't think I needed to keep doing that.
Yeah.
And so thank you, Pastor Gambage. You know what I'm saying? I ate it before I came on the deeper dive. Pastor Bar was in there. We was going over the deeper dive, and I'm just eating it. And you know what I'm saying? I'm eating it, but I'm sharing with him. You know, we're going through this moment and just like having fun with our faith. And it like
enjoy the journey. It's about the journey. Yeah.
My God, man, you gotta keep me on track because I'll start crying.
No.
But he has been so good, man. It's crazy. Wow, man. Like, and I want everybody to experience it, but it's like we gotta come on the journey together. So you can see him move the way I've been seeing him move, man. And I found out he's doing it regardless of like of us. I just gave you examples. I was tired and I was tired and it was still, he was still like, "Got you.
I got you."
And man, like, Yeah, it's I'm literally experiencing infinitely more, like an immeasurable amount of strength that can only come from him. And man, just seeing facets of his love that are just absolutely, I don't even understand it. You know, stuff is happening so good I can't even keep track of it. You know, man, God is just, blessings are coming out of the middle of nowhere, and I like, it's so much. Like, and I know I was sharing with you beforehand some of these things. Like, I'm not just blowing smoke. I'm saying, like, no,
He's doing what he said he's gonna do
right now, and he's no respecter of person.
right.
I like what are you saying, Pastor Brian? What are you saying? Like, he's no respecter of person. So what does that mean? I mean, get your seams tight.
Get your seams tight. And with that, the S was sight, right? And to the point that Israel was being taken care of in the wilderness, yet they're still complaining because they didn't see it. Like, he's providing for them. Miracles are happening. God is like, I am with you, but you ain't seeing it. So I'm wondering how often, I know that often, like, God is doing what God is going to do in all of our lives, but we don't feel it because we don't see it, right?
Yeah.
Which brings us back to a principle that we've been talking about since, I think, 3 years ago. We got to get our reflections right. We got to reflect more, right? Spend more time in his presence, seeing what he's done.
And I, you know me, I like to set little simple things that help you check yourself. And so, like, if you don't want to experience this, then, like, I suggest you plug your ears for what I'm about to say next.
Open your ears.
But,
you ready?
Like, it's so convicting, and it's like you can't hide it. Like, well, what are you about to say, Pastor? I'm about to say it. The last time you checked your bank account, how did you feel emotionally?
That's a good check.
If it had you rethinking some things, you still sight living.
Boom.
I mean, I told you to plug your ears.
We heard it. We hear.
If your whole attitude changed, if your whole direction about what to do next changed, if your whole thought about how God would want to do it for you changed, if you rerouted the plan, if you had hesitation, if you got a little sad, if you called your wife and complained about what she bought last, if all these things stirred you up in a different way than when you logged in, then you are still sight living.
That's good. It's a check.
I apologize.
No apology needed.
God didn't apologize to me when he checked me with it.
Boom.
He was like, Brian.
Yeah.
Between me and you. You know, God, I don't think I told.
But it ain't between you and him no more. It's all of us. The whole
we all in here now. I'm bringing y'all on the journey.
Here we go.
You know, it's so funny. I did this last year, and I didn't tell anybody. I told a couple people when it came to conversation, because I realized that some people might be like, "Oh, la la la, you had a place in your life where you can do something like that," and blah blah blah. People be trying to just diminish the quality of what God's saying instead of just listening. No one's at a place in their life where they can do what I'm about to just tell you, what I'm about to say. I realized, you got to realize something about me too, man. I'm just radical about it. I just can't. Like, I can't afford it. There's certain things, man, my God, get yourself in a position to where there's things you can't afford to do anymore.
Right.
And so what I'm saying is, like, because of the responsibility that I have, to whom much is given, much is required, there's certain things I cannot afford. And so immediately when I saw that, I was like, I can't afford that in my life. God told me, Brian, log out of your bank account and don't log in for another 2 months. I never looked. I never looked. I told Rashida. I didn't tell Rashida I wasn't looking.
That'll make some people
I didn't tell Rashida
good.
I wasn't looking because this wasn't her journey. What I told Rashida, I said, Rashida, if something gets low, you make the move. That's all I said. But I can't. Like, I can't. Like, I can't. One time, because of things how we have things set up. I forgot to turn off the low balance alert. Mm-hmm. That was the temptation from the devil. Mm-hmm. I got this low balance alert. My heart about jumped out my chest.
You forgot to turn off the alert.
I said, Satan done snuck in. And I knew you'll be tried by the fire.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Right?
He comes immediately.
I'm like, man, we a long way from payday. Mm-hmm. Like, typical pattern is some move need to be made. Mm-hmm. Like, but I've received your word, Lord, and you told me not to bring her into this. I just screenshotted it and I sent it to Rashida. I said, I just got this. And she was like, oh, okay. I don't know what she did.
Yeah.
I'm just simply saying this. You get to the point to where, like, you just want to step into this life.
Yeah.
Man, you just don't care no more, man. I don't, man. I'm saying, man, like you just like, and you gotta do what he wants you to do. I'm telling you what he told me, but I know what he told me was based on the level of the assignment I have and the amount of faith he wants me to take into moments. And man,
but unpack what you just said right there. That simple practice of not checking your balance builds in you the faith that he will want you to take into some future moment.
Exactly. Like, all of that was galvanizing and I remember what I said, right? Like we keep thinking of spiritual things about our growth, and there's some natural things you're doing that's messing you up. You know, before you know it, and I realized for myself, like it's like I would wake up.
That's good.
And I was checking our accounts on automatic. Like before I had a conscious thought of checking, I was already looking.
I gotta add this, because that practice right there, some people that God has called to be leaders are too preoccupied with natural stuff that's stopping them from moving in the faith that he's called them to.
And you don't even realize that you've created bad habits.
Yeah.
And you won't acknowledge the fact that it changes your attitude, your emotions, and you start to reimagine and revisit what God told you based on what you saw. But it's so ingrained that it's going to have to take like a fast. You're fasting from food, and that's great for your body. But how are you fasting with your eyes? You know what I'm saying? Like, God declared an eye fast, if you want to call it.
Yeah.
Because I was sight living.
Yeah.
So I had to go on a sight fast.
Yes.
And some people might, I don't know how long you got to be. It depends on where God's taking you. He told me 2 months.
Yeah.
You know how long that is? That is insane. And I hope I'm giving y'all context. No, it wasn't. No, I was getting low balance alerts. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like, oh man, it was just this stockpile of money sitting there. You know, and it didn't matter what happened. There's no place on planet Earth where it doesn't matter. Like, and I'm saying that because people will try to disqualify the word I'm saying by thinking that when I get to that level, what are you talking about? That level doesn't exist. It's a bad idea.
And what you're really saying is, when I get to the place, I don't need faith no more. That's what you're really looking for.
I want them to understand my wiring, so maybe that'll even help them to understand what this means for me. I switched I went to school. I love architecture. So I went to school for design. I went to my mom and asked her what the ministry needs, and she talked about accounting. I switched my major to accounting. I'm saying this because many people are like, that's irresponsible. I'm more physically responsible than most people could imagine. You know how hard that was? So I'm saying, like, people are like, that's just a bad. No, you have to trust God for what he's saying. But I refuse, man. I don't want nothing I personally can't afford it. Man, there was another thing, another little something I was going to share. We're out of time. I can't
none
think
of
of
us
it.
afford it.
That's the truth. None of us can afford it. I'm just saying, allow, just like you do fast, man. Like, look, man, what's your fast, right? If that is you and you know that's you, man, like, what is it?
Yeah.
And man,
Log out of IG.
Get free today.
Yeah.
Get free today.
Log
Experience freedom today.
Log out.
It's available.
Yeah.
You know?
Log out to log in.
Whew. And yeah, there we go.
That's nice. I like that.
Yeah, show them love. But man, I'm so excited, Pastor Lamar. A couple plugs, right? We got the fashion show coming up.
Yes.
It's Friday. This Saturday. When is it? Saturday.
Yeah.
Exciting news, right? I know some people may have seen that it was sold out because it is.
Overflow.
It is.
Wave after wave.
But we are working on a way to create another experience the same
wave.
night.
Yes.
And so, like, just keep your eyes open, keep your ears open. Don't send out no bad messages. We are formulating a way for everybody to.
That's a good point.
To be able to experience what these designers have done, for us to walk into a vision that God spoke, and it's incredible that that he's being faithful to it. And
there it is right there. That's a good point, because people like to jump to conclusions and think that they missed out, but what you're talking about right now is the heart of the ministry. We don't want nobody to miss out, so we're making a way.
But what we're not going to do.
Here we go.
So anyway,
amen. Thank you, Pastor Brian. Oh man, it's a good day. It's a good Tuesday. Enjoy it all day. Infinitely more. Listen, as you go through this day, go through it knowing that we love you. God does too. Keep attending and keep being most blessed.
Tell me why it can't be love. The only real answer's love. When will things change on 2 days the same way? I pick up cause God did me the same way. Face to face, still can't get on the same page. Say a few things and watch God move his way. Love